Hello, friends of Karaoke family. I want to welcome you to another video today, whereby we will be looking at 6 ways on how you can handle disrespectful people. These are people who will always make you feel like you're minimal, very tiny bit, like you don't make sense when you talk, like always pulling you down. This can happen at workplace. It can happen amongst your friends and circles of influence, sometimes in families where when you want to talk or you want to express yourself, you end up feeling very disrespected. Okay. So today we are going to be looking at ways on how to answer or react to some of those moments when people show you disrespect, when people treat you in a way that you feel they are not giving you enough respect. Well, number one, what you do is you be silent. It is very trying sometimes when you go through such moments of being disrespected and you want to remain silent. The almost automatic way is to answer back. But in those moments, most probably when you answer back, you are going to answer in a way that it's going to come out as well as counter disrespectful, or it's going to be very negative. You're going to be misquoted. It's going to be fiery. You're going to keep on going on and on, maybe even into an argument. So, a life skill that is good when people are disrespectful to you is to be silent. You can breathe in. There is these mechanisms that I know I used to hear of you just take a sip of water, or you just breathe in and out. Just try to see how you can be able to remain silent in such moments. Number two, in that when you're silent, number two is to give a stare. A quick stare or a quick break. That is when you're breathing in and out and you keep on looking at the person when they are talking. You make them not know your next move. It's like you're defeating them. They will definitely keep quiet. Let's assume you've gone to a meeting. Maybe it's a board meeting, maybe it's a work meeting, and you're trying to bring forth your point. And every time you're trying to bring forth your point, a colleague or maybe a leader is trying to push you down or to water down your point, and you really feel this is the point you want to drive in. When you feel they are disrespecting you by watering down your point or making it sound like it does not make sense, what you do is you just give a stare. And the goodness is, when this number two, you give a stare, number one of keeping silent will take effect. They work very well and they go in very well. And that is why you see many times the people who are involved will wonder, what happened? How was John or Mary able to just keep quiet and not respond? Because you defeat people, they won't know your next move. And as they say, silence is the best sheep home. So what it means is they cannot quote you. They cannot say you said this or you reacted this. Just give a stare. Just give a stare, an empty stare. They will not know on what to do. Number three, stop explaining your choices. There are times when the responses you're giving or the choices you make in life, people do not understand. And people will always ask you, why did you decide to do, for example, a certain career? Why did you decide to relocate from one area or one town to another? Or even people will even want to find out, why did you relocate from one country to another? Some of these questions, when they're coming from close associates, people who love you, people who know they mean well to you, that is a different thing. But if it's coming from people who already disrespect you, it's more of just interrogating you. It's more of trying to find out what you think and why you're planning. So you do not need to explain to everybody about your choices, why you're married, why you're not married, why you have children, why you do not have children. All the choices we make in life, sometimes people will push you to want to explain, even wanting for you to tell them why you're putting on a red dress and not a black dress. So when you realize it's people who are just asking to build a case scenario, or from a point of view of disrespect, you do not need to explain yourself. So stop explaining your choices to everybody. If it comes from a friend, that's different. Point number 4, keep your distance. When we talk about keeping your distance, it is you have known someone is disrespecting you. You have known someone will never see your point, will never see you as you're good enough. What you do is keep a distance. And keeping a distance is not making enemies. No, keeping a distance is having your boundaries. If, for example, it's an office, you have a colleague who is always treating you in a mean way, disrespecting you, the sellout, people who will always set you up for your worst, wanting you to argue because they know you are argumentative, wanting you to be annoyed because they know you are short tempered. If you know it's such a colleague, or even sometimes it's a sibling, a brother, a sister, a cousin, or even it could be a neighbor, anybody that makes you be the way we normally say short wired, like, they will make you react in a certain way. So what you do in such moments is what do you do to them? You just keep a distance. When they come to you, talk. If it's in the office, you're talking about your work assignment, you're talking about a chair, you discuss with them because that is formal. Discuss about the meeting, but do not go beyond. Do not go beyond the necessities of that meeting, because it's going to cause you more pain and feel it more that you're disrespected. I remember I used to have a colleague who used to treat me in a very mean way. And these things are very practical. And I kept on telling myself, every time we'll go to a meeting, I will not talk. And I would find myself talking. And then I'll be given a very sharp wash down, like dress down. Someone will water down my point. And then way later, maybe after a month or two, that point will be material, will be doing good. And you will know it's the point that you said in a certain meeting, but you just keep quiet. So I just told myself, you know what, for the sake of peace and for me to be happy, every time we go for a meeting, I'll be waiting for me to be involved, for me to be given a feedback vis-a-vis just cracking myself up. And let me tell you, this is one of the disadvantages, like even as a leader of an organization, you will face. You have your workmates or your juniors who are able to give you more. But if you keep on watering them down, you will not maximize on the wealth that they have of experiences. Because, by the way, even when you're a boss, your juniors or people that you're leading are not empty. They might give you some very good points and make you succeed with your plans and meeting your goals. So keep a distance where you feel you are not penetrating through. Take a back seat. Sometimes it's for a while, sometimes it's for a lengthy time, until you realize now maybe the doors are open, or maybe the change of attitude, then you can be able to do that. Point number 5, the decisions that you make, hold your head high. Acknowledge the decisions you're making. Exactly what you're doing, maintain it. Do not keep on shifting goals. For example, if the decision that you've made of buying a house, and maybe your friend is buying a car, and they're disrespecting you, they're making you feel like, oh, buying a house is better than buying a car. And maybe a car is a tool of trade. Maybe you need to do your business better, you do insurances, or maybe your job, wherever you work, you need that car. It becomes your priority. Walk with your head high. Do not let somebody make you feel like your decisions are not nice. Remember, we learn from one another. But these decisions that you've thought through, maybe you have thought through with your parents, you've thought through with your spouse, you've thought through with your children, and you people, you have decided to maintain them. So to undo them to someone who does not respect you, it is to make you be very wavery, not very strong in your decision. So hold your head high, face your decisions, and walk through them. As long as someone is disrespectful to you and is not adding value, walk with your head high, believe in yourself, and continue going through the process of whatever you believe in or the decision that you make. And point number 6, which is our last one in this, it is forgive, but do not forget. I know sometimes these are two words that you hear, you cannot use both words on the same sentence, but I think in my thinking, when you forgive, you're forgiving so that you release yourself. You're forgiving to say, okay, I know you disrespected me, my brother, my sister, my husband, my wife, my mother, my father, or my boss, or my colleague. You're telling them, I forgive you without justification, because when you go for justification now, it's going to bring another argument and more of it. So what you do is you forgive. And once you forgive, you forget. And this forgetting is every time you remember it, it should not cause you pain. You can talk about it because anyway, you cannot say that you're going to erase it in your mind and forget everything. But maybe when you remember it, it should not bring you the pain. You should remember maybe even just a few words of that scenario or how you felt disrespected, but should not be able to make you feel pain. What do you think? What do you think about this? Please comment. Get into the comment section. Give us more of your points. Tell us what you can add more, because I know as a viewer, there's more that you can be able to share with us. Do you have ways that you can share with us on how to deal with people who disrespect you other than what we discussed? If you haven't subscribed, I want to welcome you to subscribe to this channel, like our videos, share with your friends, and keep on turning on your notifications so that you can be able to receive more videos when we come back again. Thank you very much, and God bless.